Oh.
We need to know what's really going on.
Blink Twice is a 2024 psychological thriller directed by Zoe Kravitz in her directorial debut. It stars Naomi Ackie, Channing Tatum, and Christian Slater. When tech billionaire Slater King meets cocktail waitress Frida at his fundraising gala, he invites her to join him and his friends on a dream vacation on a private island. But as strange things begin to happen, Frida questions her reality.
So, everybody's dead. How about we start at the beginning?
So I just got back from seeing Blink Twice, and I really immediately appreciate the pacing of this and the directorial style. I think it's really impressive that this is Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut because, like I said, the pacing of it, the way it slowly unfolds, but not in a way that feels like it drags, not in a way that even feels slow. It just kind of is constantly moving forward, but at a nice pace that when you get to some of the climactic moments, they hit you hard because it does this real quick, hard transition in a way from a movie that feels relaxing and beautiful and then slowly gets creepy. Then all of a sudden it gets terrifying. And I just was really impressed with how it unfolded. But the cinematography is absolutely gorgeous in this. It's well shot. There's a lot of creative choices with the camera work, but I wouldn't say it's super artsy either. It's just well put together. But the cast in this is absolutely incredible. Every one of them do a fantastic job with whatever role they're given. And it's a wide variety of people that are on this island that all have little quirks and things about them, and you never know a ton about them, but yet you do feel like you know them and at least somewhat know what they're about. And I think that that's hard to pull off a lot of times in a movie. We see this in horror and thrillers all the time where your characters don't feel like real people and you just kind of don't care about any of them. Whereas in this, you do, because like I said, you may not know a lot about them, but their personality shines through. And I think a lot of that comes down to the performances from this cast. But the terror and emotions and all the things that Naomi Ackie expresses are fantastic. But to me, the person that really stole the show in this and just was absolutely jaw-droppingly impressive was Channing Tatum. Maybe I just haven't seen him in enough movies, but I did not think he had this in him. I mean, the way he becomes this villain and how it all unfolds and the mystery and intrigue and creepy, otherworldly almost type of things that happen in this movie, because there's a lot of things where you're not sure what's reality and what is fantasy until it hits you and you really do find out exactly what's going on. But the way he is able to pull off this villain and be so believable, because Channing Tatum is such a recognizable face. Sometimes with a big time celebrity like him, it's hard to see them as anything else. And when I see Channing Tatum, especially in the beginning of this, because he plays into that, he's this charming, good looking, suave character. And so when there's a transition in this and you start to see his true colors, like, I mean, you know, in the trailer he's a villain, but you don't know to the levels that this villain goes and how depraved and demented he actually is. But I was also surprised on how dark and how twisted and how absolutely fucked up this movie gets. I was surprised even that when the movie starts, there's a little thing at the bottom of the screen basically warning you that, you know, this is not for all audiences. This could offend you. So be warned going in, you know, this is definitely going to deal with some stuff. And it does. I mean, I was like, you know, that's a little bit PC. Like, why? I've never really seen a movie do that. But after watching this movie, I get it. I mean, there are some very, very brutal type of scenes in this that will definitely bother and trigger a lot of people. And it doesn't necessarily get gory, but there are some violent moments, and the way they're done is very shocking and abrupt. Just in general, a lot of the horror thriller type of elements that are in this, they come at you hard, and like they really hit you when they happen. At least they do with me. But I just really enjoyed this movie. There are some questionable things in this. things I can't really get into without spoiling it, but especially towards the end, some choices they make that I think won't work for everybody. But I personally was still entertained by those choices. It isn't exactly what I would have done at the ending in this, but I do appreciate and like what they did do. But this is a very uncomfortable movie, and it's done so well because it's juxtaposed with this beautiful cast in this beautiful location. Everything feels peaceful and it feels like you're on vacation, and so when it kind of lulls you into that and the creepy things start to begin, it immediately gives you this uncomfortable feeling of not knowing what's going to happen. What exactly is the mystery here? What is causing these people to have what's happening to them happen? And so then when it does go dark, I mean, it really impacted me anyway. I also really enjoyed the little twist here and there, like little things, little surprises, things that they're not big ones, but they're little things about characters that caught me off guard, or little character flips or whatever, but things about this movie that just kind of kept happening and kept me intrigued and really paying attention to what was happening. But this is definitely not a movie that's going to be for everyone, because it does deal with some things that could trigger some, like I said, but also there is a certain amount of an audience out there that will probably yell, "This is woke," or whatever, because it does deal a lot with women and things that they deal with. But it's directed by Zoe Kravitz. It is by a woman, but I don't care, man. Like, me personally, I just want good horror movies. I just want good thrillers with good ideas. And so I don't care if it focuses on a woman's struggle or a man's struggle or whatever, or however we get a final girl or final guy or any of that. I don't understand the audience out there that has such a big problem when there's a leading woman in a movie and it's like a struggle that has some real world implications. It's like, well, every movie, if you look at the subtext, you look under the layers, you know, everything from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to Alien. I mean, forever we've had this. It just may not be as up in your face, but if you're bright enough to see under the layers, it's still there. So I don't get that argument. But if you're someone that doesn't like that kind of thing, then this may bother you or trigger you in some way. I don't know. But for me anyway, I thought it was a damn good movie. So if you're into psychological thrillers that are beautifully shot, well directed, well acted, have great cinematography and design in general, then I think you should absolutely get out to a theater and check this one out.
Please, why I'm in danger.
Well, maybe not. Let's not answer that one, right?
But that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you enjoy this, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel. And when I post videos like this, and I post videos like this every single week, I also want to give a huge, massive, enormous thank you to the Ghost Pirate crew, to you guys over on Patreon, and to the channel members over here. You guys mean so much to me. And if you would like to help support this channel over on Patreon, there's a link down in the description, or you can become a channel member by clicking on the join button down there and help the channel out that way. But like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button, and remember guys, horror can be fun! And if you enjoyed this, click right here to watch me talk about Strange Darling. And I'll see you guys next time!